What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. So today I want to talk about the top 5, and I know I could do a top 20. I could include Jason's machete or future Jason's machete, which was different. We could talk about Michael Myers' butcher knife. We could talk about the boy from The Revenant. We could talk about all kinds of stuff. But I'm just going to drop 5, the top 5 movie knives ever. And what I want to do is I want to start with like a runner-up. So it's going to be number 6, even though it's not top 5. It's runner-up, a special shout out. So the movie The Alamo, Jim Bowie carried a knife. Now remember, in the real fight of The Alamo, he did not carry the Muso Bowie. It's behind. There's a cat. It's behind there somewhere. It's hanging. But he didn't carry that knife, even though it's famously thought that he carried that knife. He gifted that knife before he actually went to the Alamo. Right before he went, he gifted it to a friend, a politician. And that was the last that knife ever made it to anywhere close to battle. So in the movie, they gave him a different knife it was 17 and a half inches overall. It had an 11 and a half inch blade, and it was nice. It was decent, but the movie knife, if they used the Muso knife in the movie, then this could be number 1 instead of number 6, but they didn't, and I'll show you what it looked like. So this was the Alamo movie knife. I mean, it's nice and all, but yeah, it's just not top 5. And honestly, it was going to be my top 5. My number 6 was kind of between that and the Cobra knife with Stallone, if everybody remembers, with the spikes. But the classic Bowie is just better. So number 5 officially is going to have to be the movie Scream. They broke out the General, the 120 buck. Which is just tried and true, freaking-tastic knife. It's awesome. And I think what keeps it from going higher on the list is the hollow grind. It's made for cutting. That's what it is. It's great for those Scream movies and stab movies, because they're just cutting and slashing skin. So it's okay. But, real world use, when it comes down to something crazy deadly like that, I would want maybe a flat or a saber grind or a convex grind. I would want ultimate strength on my edge for that. So that's why the buck is number 5 on the all-time greatest movie knife list, and I'll show you what it looks like if you live under a rock. So that is the infamous Buck 110 General. What separates it from the 119, this is the 120, not 110. What separates it from the 119 is that it's just a little bit longer. Also, the movie used this version with the black handle, which makes it an HC blade, where if it was a brown handle, it would be a better steel. All right, so number 4, greatest movie knife ever. The Combat Trudon used in John Wick. This is the Microtech Combat Trudon. I also have the regular Trudon that he used in the first movie. This is the one he used in the second movie. This knife, phenomenal. This is one of my favorite knives ever made. This thing is an absolute beast of a blade. The Combat Trudon by Microtech. John Wick movies, they got it right when they decided to pull this blade and use it for the film. This is an amazing assassin's knife. So that was a quick one because I happen to have one right in front of me. The next couple, 2 out of 3, I have remakes, my designs of these knives. But I already got rid of my one that's coming next, and my number 1 knife I already sold, so I only have my versions of them. And the second knife, number 2, I have my own version, plus I have one of the best replicas ever made. Let's get into number 3. So number 3 is the Life Support System 1 knife used in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, like I said, I have my own version. It's boop up, I think maybe right there. Is my version of the knife. The way I would have liked to see it happen. The first one was a hollow handle. It was basically Crane's version of the Lile Rambo knife. Hollow handle, compass in the end, saw back. It was kind of a copy. They even put a screwdriver heads on the end of the pommel. The guard. So it was literally, okay, you can make one, I can make one type thing, string handle, everything. But the the knife still stood up in its own way. And it is, it's awesome. It's awesome, pure and simple. So let me show you the Life Support System 1. And there you have the Commando knife. They even took Commando and gave him the name John, which obviously John Rambo, John Commando. You couldn't copy it anymore, but you can't take away from this knife. It's awesome. I just wanted one a little awesomer. So when I designed mine, I made sure to make it full tang, and I changed the grinds, changed the handle, gave it an actual grip, and I absolutely love my remake. Okay, number 2, greatest movie knife ever made. Well, when you talk about the other that come before this, you can easily say, that's not a knife. That's a knife. So the Crocodile Dundee knife. This thing is phenomenal. This one is the best remake pretty much ever made. It's an Outback by Down Under. It's phenomenal. So what happened with this one is when I was using it one day, there's a hard piece, a stick tang in here that goes all the way to here. And then they had a rat tail here so you can screw on the pommel. I was throwing it, and when I threw it, it hit and then rolled up, boom, and bent that rat tail. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I took a clothes hanger and I spun the clothes hanger. I took the spun hanger and cut it into a rod to make a pin. Then I took this piece of wood and I burnt it, drilled a hole into the tang and fit it that way. And this thing has been better than the original because it fits my hand better. It's super comfortable, and this part is going nowhere. So I did a little modification. Right next to my Commando knife is my version of this knife, where I wanted to remove anything that could break. So I made it full tang, and I made the guard integral instead of, God, I love this knife, instead of something that attaches to the knife. But number 2, greatest movie knife ever, Paul Hogan's Crocodile Dundee. I'll show you mine. All right, so I'm very serious about my grips. I need a grip that works and that is very strong. So you can see true full tang construction, integral guard, and then I just added a bigger fuller and a nice wide blade. And that thing is super, super cool right next to that one. Oh, and if I was going to do another extension to this, I would have added this, the Predator knife, but that's obviously my version. But here you go, my Crocodile Dundee. All right, so if you don't know what the number 1 movie knife of all time is, by this point, you got the brain of a useless caveman, because number 1 began it all. It started the hollow handle knife craze. As a matter of fact, in the 80s, a knife was produced, even in the late 70s, after this knife because of its severe popularity. And I'll show you that cheap 80s knife. So this thing, every single kid had this one. I had mine, everybody had theirs. Inside of here is a nut on a little piece of rat tang. So the nut goes all the way here. There's no tang in here. It's just a nut on a rat tail going right from here. That's it. And every time you use the knife for anything, I don't care if you're cutting paper, that nut would loosen and you'd have to get in there and try to tighten that damn thing. And it sucked. And they broke so easily. The pommel had the compass on it, and that thing never really worked. So why do we have that knife? Because of John J. Rambo. So the Rambo knife, made by Jimmy Lile, the most famous knife of all time. The knife that made people want knives, that made people love knives. This is the knife that when people didn't care about knives, when people were out there not even thinking about knives, after that first Rambo, the First Blood movie, everybody wanted the knife. So I'm going to pull up Lile's website, and we are going to show you the real one instead of the remakes, because if you're going to show it right. It's a mission knife. It's the Mission 1. Let's see. Lile Movie Knives. Oh, I love this website. So my dream is to have this knife made by Lile. So if anybody out there has an extra $2,500 and you want to do something nice for old D-Pad, this is my dream knife. Hold on. I thought I pressed pause and I didn't. Had a little faux pas. I was about to edit it out, but then I thought, I'm D-Pad. Everybody gets to see me being an idiot. So I left it in. But here it is. The Jimmy Lile Rambo knife. And here's the thing is his understudy had been with him for quite a long time. So if you bought a Lile knife, there's a good chance that it was made by his understudy and not Lile. The difference is none. It doesn't matter. His understudy was doing the exact same technique with the exact same steel, the exact same tools, the exact same materials. Every single thing was exact. The tolerances, the heat treats, everything, because that's who he learned from and that's who he worked for. And it's the same guy who's running the company today. So if you're getting a Lile mission knife, a Rambo knife, you're still getting the same exact knife as if Jimmy Lile was still alive making them today. This is the greatest knife ever made. It is phenomenal. And this is the one knife that I've never had the opportunity. Well, not true. I got to hold one. My buddy Joe Mallinson had an entire collection. But I never got to use one. And this right here is my absolute dream. Now, what makes this hollow handle better than every other? This one has a partial tang inside. Then this is a single solid piece of steel that's drilled in, threaded, and then the end of this stick tang is threaded, so it threads in. Then he drills a hole straight through the handle, through the tang, through the other side of the handle, and he pins it in there. And that right there, the construction of this knife is as strong and stronger than most or all or any, it doesn't matter, full tang knife. This will never break. Now, one of the things that makes it so good is having that hollow piece right there puts the weight for a fighting knife exactly where it needs to be. And this is the most perfect, appropriate, proportionate combat fighting knife ever made. This thing is the real deal. So that is the top 5 movie knives ever made. And I'm telling you, there's 1,000 knives out there that can come pretty close to the top 5, but that's the top 5. There's no better knife used in any movie that's more famous and more known than these knives. I'm pretty sure you can find an amazing knife that was used in some movie nobody's ever seen, and a knife that nobody knows about, And if they saw it, they'd go, holy crap, why isn't that popular? But these ones are known to everyone. This group of knives, this 5+1, everybody knows them. Everybody, if you just say it, they can put it in their head. They don't have to say, wow, really, what did it look like? Nobody's going to do that. They all know. I'm keeping that picture up on that Lile just for a little bit. And then the Rambo 2, the Mission 2, the one that's black, it's a little bigger. Anybody in their right mind would say it's bigger, it's black, it's a better knife than the Rambo 1. It's got a wider blade, and I agree completely, but the Rambo 1 started it all. That green handle with the brown sheath and the sawback and the two-tone, the stonewash with the polish. Most famous knife in history. That and the Musso Bowie. And the Musso Bowie wasn't used in Jim Bowie's movie, in the Alamo. So, man, that's it. That's my top 5. Phenomenal bunch of knives. If you had any one of them, if you just owned one of those top 5, and I have multiples, you're doing good. So don't forget, D-Bad wants an original, not even an original, right? You could get a 2026. D-Bad wants a Lile Rambo 1, and I will treat you like a god for the rest of your life if one shows up at my door. I am Donnie B all day. I've been good, but I am Donnie B all day. That's it for this one. Until next video.